And then they started reading the books in the library.
Oh, wait, hold
at
on.
the university.
This fool is all like, oh, I'm 25% Italian to every single girl. Just because of 21 and me. Hold
40%, bro.
To be unearthed at what I believe is like the Renaissance. The ability to sort of create our own destiny.
The Renaissance podcast.
I mean, but by the last name, you could kind of.
Yeah, well, I never met my grandpa, so yeah.
I get you, man.
So even in the books, you guys
so
were able to
he's gone back and found like burial sites that are basically back in East Texas. There are a lot of burial sites that are unmarked. So you can find where these people are buried, though, in these books that are kept in these libraries and stuff like that, because you can find who the slave owner was, where their property was, where they buried the people on their property. Crazy. So anyway, before all that, though, my dad, he raised me. There was ever an epitome of how you raise a firstborn, Spartan style. It was that. I mean, I was training with professional track coaches, Olympic track coaches, professional football coaches. From the time I think I started when I was 9, and getting into mixed martial arts, doing that to the point that when I was, I think 12, Marcus Hicks MMA, my OG, dude, broke me into tears for the first time in a workout ever. And it was purposeful. We were going through the workout, and I remember him looking at my dad and asking. He was like, "Do we do this?" And my dad was like, "You know what? Yeah, it's time."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there flipping a tire, and Marcus was like, "Keep flipping it and jumping through it till I tell you to stop."
Oh,
bro! When I tell you, I flipped that tire for probably 30 minutes. I started crying. I mean, I was crying like, this doesn't make sense to me. So my stress response, once I got to the age of 19, 20.
Through the roof.
It was through the roof. Absolutely through the roof. And I didn't understand that, but there was a lot going on. I had a girlfriend back in Dallas who I knew was, man, I'm not even going to get that. Yeah, you know, like
story for another day.
That's a whole different topic of discussion.
So pretty much your dad was LeVar Ball 2.0,
so my dad was LeVar Ball before LeVar Ball. Yeah.
But working out has always been a huge part of your life.
My first memory is in the gym.
Oh, snap. Like I said, at a young age.
Like my real, 4 years old.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, I was actually, I was on the leg press. And the reason I know this is real is because it's been confirmed by not only my dad, but the people that were in the gym.
That's what's up.
So I was on the leg press, and I didn't have any weight on there, but I was thinking I was doing the motion. And I get off and I go to this guy named Bailey, one of my dad's old good friends. And I tell Bailey, my dad is stronger. And Bailey looks at me. Bailey's a strong guy.
Yeah.
Bailey looks at me because I saw them, and Bailey had just squatted, I think, 5 plates. So for me to see Bailey squat
this
5
ain't no
plates,
lightweight, man.
Nah, bro. And I walked up to him and I said, "My dad is stronger than you." He said, "Yeah, you're right." Then my dad went and squatted 6 or 7 or something stupid. But because when I was that time, my dad was, I think, 31, 32. Yeah. So he was prime time, strong.
Did he play football too?
He played football. He didn't play in college. I think he ended up blowing his knee out playing basketball his senior year of high school.
Blowing his knee out?
That shit always happens, bro. That shit, the knees or, freaking
I feel like that's the end of every athlete.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then after that, and he had me, it was like, dude, got to work. So started working and so then he was like, well, I'll just get big.
No, just get big.
I'll just get big. I'll just get freakishly big. I mean, bro, my dad used to work out with Ronnie's trainer. I mean, the depth of that arena that my history goes it's crazy.
Do you ever see yourself you were supposed to be someone else than who you are today?
Ooh.
Because you telling me that you got memories back since 4 years old, bro. I can't even remember one thing from previous
last week.
Bro,
you know what, bro?
I'm talking about childhood, bro.
When he said that childhood, I was like, bro, one of my first memories was getting like a shot of alcohol from one of my uncles.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, until this day, he denies it, bro. I'm like, nah, I remember that shit, bro.
No, I know that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, my little sister, alcohol stories are fun.
You think you're still finding yourself? Like,
I'm not finding myself, but I'm about to go to school and then go to law school, or go back to school, finish, then go to law school.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you got the degree for it, man.
yeah, and the thing about when we talk about finding ourselves and are we who we are supposed to be, you can make a decision right now.
Yeah.
And change that at any point down the line.
Facts.
And it'd be okay that you made that decision right now, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, who I am right now and whatever it is that I decide I'm going to do right now, if it truly is wrong, then it's wrong. But if it is because I believe that there's something that's going to come from this that is beneficial to me and the people that I operate with, bro, I don't question myself. I move so quick. There's no gym, I guarantee you this. I'm not even going to call us the best gym in Dallas, but there's no
Talk
gym.
your shit.
Yo, I mean,
bro.
I change things more than any gym I know in Dallas, because my thing is, why would we want to stay the same?
Yeah.
I mean, equipment. I moved yesterday, literally. This is probably the 7th, 8th time I've done this. I moved over 5,000 pounds of equipment.
Damn.
Myself.
Myself. Now.
So it's just something light. But it's not so much about moving it, but it's about what happens when someone steps into a new atmosphere.
Yeah.
But it's still home, because people don't really switch up what they got going on at home. So now we're reprogramming the brain to stop just coming in, doing mundane shit and saying, okay, I'm at the gym. Now I'm at the gym, but I'm at a new spot today. Okay, all right, now it's something different.
Man, that's crazy. Let me tell you something real quick, man. Bruh, so I got a girlfriend now.
Word.
And
when was now?
Now, I said, like, crazy how we came to become a relationship, the relationship that we are today. But the story is that I wanted a girlfriend. I didn't have a girlfriend at that point. Started talking to this girl, and I said, you know what? She wifey material. So you know what I'm gonna do? This whole room that I have set up, my whole room that I have, I don't like it. How many bitches have been fucked in that bed?
Whoa. Real talk.
I think you have fucked a girl in that bed. I think you have fucked a girl in that bed.
Edit this out.
No. Point is that, like, so many girls have been fucked in that bed.
Yeah.
But I thought about that shit too. Facts. I'm not bullshitting. And I was like, you know what? Let me rearrange this room.
You gotta clean the bed, get another bed. Bro.
Hey, y'all never say who. Anyways, but point is that, like, I completely switched it up. I think I dropped like $2,000 on my whole new room, straight up, like, because I wanted it to be different, for which I really thought was gonna be someone that's gonna be important in my life today. And it's that psychological shit that you guys don't understand, that it's so oblivious, but it's so important. So, hey, props to that. 5,000 pounds of weight, like, and they don't even notice. No offense. And it's not meant to be noticed.
It's not meant to be noticed.
That's it.
Yeah.
I just need you to get out of it what I needed you to get out of it. I don't need you to tell me you got it out. Like, I paint, I do all kind of crazy stuff up there, man.
I like what you said about how, it could still be home, but you still switch it up,
You have
Lots of people
bro.
think change is just like, you got to change everything completely. Like,
you can move
that's a
your
good
candle
point.
to the other side of the table.
And it throws us
Okay, so seriously. So I want to make this very well known.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm not like registered in any kind of psychological anything, but I read a lot. So the first psychology book I read was called The Psychology of Women. It was a college textbook my dad had. I was 19. It was college. It was college summer. And I was like, you know what? let me read this because my dad's always trying to put me on game. I know my dad got game because dude got 4 kids.
I think for sure my dad sent me that book, but now I think about it.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
So once I did that, and then I was able to understand that different women take you different ways.
Yeah.
My approach to women, whether it was my professor, whether it was my homegirl, it all became different. And I was able to not manipulate, but I was able to manipulate myself in situations and not let my mind take control in situations where I knew I didn't need to step into them.
That's free game, boys. Y'all better listen.
Hey, man, this ain't free. Y'all need to pay my boys. I know y'all could donate on Spotify. Yeah, don't play.
Man,
It's so true.
But
No,
anyways,
real talk.
But change the subject, bro. So like, I saw a few. I mean, I've looked through your Instagram. I followed you for a while. But I wanted to ask you, how did you become a personal trainer or a trainer of like the Usman brother?
Whoa,
Yeah.
Usman?
Yeah.
Champion?
The only reason I was asking because I just remembered whenever he was fighting, we were here actually. And then I told him about it. I was like, yo, like this guy that I follow, I think he trained with one of the Usman brothers.
Yeah.
Legit.
But it's crazy. I was
So-
like, bro, that's wild. Like,
Bro, and you know, the thing is, man, so the answer to how is I keep everything organic. Now, how it really came about. So a former colleague of mine, Lauren DeRusso, I've been talking about her a lot lately. Shout out to LD. She introduced me to Mo because I was transitioning into that ownership role. And we had just had our first big event. So we were like, okay, we need to get somebody in here. And we had a bunch of sponsors, potential sponsors, vendors there. So I told her, because she was immersed in the MMA world and I'm from the MMA world, that I know how it works. I can help somebody out.
Yep.
So we introduced Mo to a meal prep company. Boom, that kind of kicks off. And then he actually reached out to her and asked if I was open to train. Of course. I mean, I would, why would I not? So,
Mo is Muhammad, right?
Muhammad. Yes. Yeah. Muhammad is.
That's wild.
Yep. So, my thing is I'm for my people and my people's people, because if you're a branch of whatever it is I've got going on, I need to be able to take care of you in whatever way I need to take care of you. So, anyway, he reached out to her. He ended up coming up. I put him through a workout, pro bono, free, whatever you want to call it. And, from there, it was all about what value I provided that group of people.
And they saw that.
Man, when I tell you, it caused a ripple just in the dynamic of what mixed martial arts training, strength and conditioning is in Dallas and what it should be. And I didn't market $1. I didn't try to reach out to anybody. I wasn't hitting anyone on Instagram or anything. People reached out to me. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champions. I mean, all kinds of people. Exactly. And it was only because they started seeing these dudes raising their hands at the end of fights. I didn't tell them tag me in anything. They're tagging me and stuff. They're posting me and all. So, whenever really the way that I started working with Mo was the introduction from LD. But, I mean, it really happened because at the end of the day, I care about people as people.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot just because of a sport. He used to play football, played pro football, ended up going from pro football to mixed martial arts. So me, again, I've been around those people. I know what that life is like. I know what it's like banging your head against a wall every single day for years on end. And then what that looks like to people when you're speaking to them. Because right now, bro, first of all, if this was 3-4 years ago, this conversation would be so much more animated. I'm like on a 2 right now.
Bro, we get you. I mean, we do podcasts sometimes after fucking working hard and shit. We come in there try to bring that 10 energy, bro. But.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to, but for me it was, and I know for people like Mo and many people out there, it's super, super hard to understand. First of all, why am I even controlling this? Like, I could just be off the walls the whole time I'm here. Why not be? That's who I am, right? I mean, maybe that's who I am, or maybe that's who I am because I've gone through what I've gone through.
Yeah.
And I think that, my occasional 2 to 3 a.m. White Rock 9-mile run lets people like
shit.
that know that I'm willing to take myself back there and really be immersed in the fact that it's some crazy shit going on in my head.
Yeah.
And when people know that, bro, like it's all about vulnerability. I'm willing to be vulnerable with all my people. And to the point that they start getting like, say, man, we don't have to have these conversations. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I haven't always been great about this, but
Yeah.
I've started really following through on things that I mean. And I don't give a fuck whether they want to hear it or not. But I know that seed being planted, maybe not today, tomorrow, fuck, 3 months from now, there may be a decision that gets made because they all count. That was because of that one thing that was said during that conversation where it was like, you know what?
Facts.
He believes in me and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I wouldn't be going to law school if my OGs didn't believe in the value that that's going to add to what it is that I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's not about saying I'm a lawyer because I'm not going to be I'm not going to be that guy, that kind of guy. Like I'm going to do that, get into the firm world and build something off of that based on the purpose of which I started all this entrepreneurship stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So you bring up a lot of significant people that are, still to this day making, so many crazy accomplishments. And you mentioned something about how we don't understand how crazy or how crazy how everything inside of their head is like so under control, but it's because it has to be or else they'll go insane.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Is it because they're afraid of failure? They don't know how to take failure, or they're just in general not okay with failure?
Failure, it looks different to every different group, right? So someone that's dyslexic, my mentor, Spencer Conley. That's why I got on the SDFL, Garrick Jones. So Garrick Jones is the one that does that psychology, different readings. So Spencer is dyslexic, book writer, international speaker, former NFL, CFL guy. He also has multiple doctorate degrees. So he's also fairly close with Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal is also dyslexic. I don't even know if Shaq talks about this a lot. I don't think he does.
Not really, yeah.
Yeah. So Shaq also has multiple doctorate degrees.
Yeah.
Do you know why someone dyslexic would get multiple doctorate degrees? Because they're always chasing something.
Trying to prove something.
They're always trying to prove something to themselves. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's the fact that I can do this. Like,
you're able to do this.
I'm able to do. I'm dyslexic and I got multiple doctorates, and then I'm getting doctorates and this and that. So I think that the failure is not necessarily a failure, but it's chasing an accomplishment that's really not an accomplishment. It's like a continuous gratification method. Yeah, it's a goal. It's a goal. It's just goal chasing. And these goals can be leveled. So when you're chasing doctorate degrees, it might not be seen as he's escaping failure. But when you're chasing just something like rent.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I saw that, I think when you're talking about Shaq, I just read an article about all his investment stuff. I was like, bro, that's crazy, the amount of investments he's done. Like, he owns 21, over Forever 21. He owns all this Papa John's, bro. Some random ass things that you like see every day, but like you don't know they're owned by Shaq. It's like, what the fuck?
And there's a lot of people out there like that because a lot of people that make a lot of money, whether we realize this or not, they're escaping failure every day. Like, it's not that they're, and I was told this by Justin, my, I don't know what to call him at this point, partner. He asked me one day, if I thought that life got easier when you got more money. And my answer was no, but I didn't really know how to answer because Justin's a lawyer, the I just got hit guy. So yeah.
I just got hit. You better go to I just got hit.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so he's
Bro,
the one
I
that
just got hit.com.
Yeah. Bro, that gets stuck in my head so many times. Every time
exactly.
I hear it.
So
Catchy.
imagine the guy that created that commercial being the guy that owned the gym. That you worked
That's
at.
wild.
So my marketing brain is always on. So okay, now getting into the question that was
hold
asked.
on. One question real quick before you go. So can he sue his own gym if somebody gets injured in
Shit, I don't even know. I mean, that's going to be an expensive lawsuit because he's going to take you through some. Yeah, I wouldn't want to jump through those hoops. He's one of the few people that I look at. I've met a lot of lawyers.
Yeah.
He's one of the few that's very direct about the fact that, we're talking about money right now.
Yeah.
Like all this other,
Yeah.
we're talking about money right at the end of the day.
So he just like that's the fact that like, okay, let's not goof around. We're talking about money
like
right
what
now.
are we talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, like, why are we sitting here? Ideas are great. What are they for? Are we about to do something with them? I mean, he's a very direct individual. Some people don't like that, but
I love it.
Anyway, I've been around him for quite a while. My dad worked for K104 for good 10 to 12 years, maybe. And he was one of their sales execs. He worked with Justin directly for a while. I would go to Justin's, like Christmas giveaways and stuff like that. So I said way back, man, I don't even know when this was, but I said that I would work with Justin a long time ago. And when I had my show on ESPN, I was actually emailing one of his subordinates and was like, yo, I got something that I can do that I think I could offer y'all a little help, down here in Houston. Get y'all on ESPN, whatever. Like, y'all need that. And she never emailed me back. But once I got to Dallas, it didn't stop. Ended up finding out Body District was his gym. Pulled up one day. He was like, yo, you want to train here? I wasn't even training at the time. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that might be a good thing. So then started coaching classes. Started training people one-on-one, getting through the cells of being a personal trainer, sitting someone down, talking to them about training. I'm like, man, what is going on?
Oh, shit.
If you don't just pay me this money and let's get this work, like, I'm like, what is this whole sales process behind training? I don't really understand what's happening. And then once I got the hang of that, built my schedule, everybody else dropped off. I'm the only one left, ended up having to fire 2 people. Long story short, Justin and I figure out, okay, it's just us. So I go to owner operator, and for 3 months spent like 80 hours a week at the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Whenever you're the owner, they say that, you don't got to work a 40-hour week for someone else, but you're going to be working an 80-hour week for yourself.
Hell yeah.
And I was cool with it. I was sleeping at the gym. My girlfriend was getting pissed. It was,
damn.
Yeah, she was not
that's how you are
happy.
when you started your business too, right? I mean, you're here almost every day.
Bro.
You get off of work and then
First
you're
one
here.
in, last one out.
Bro, I'm telling you. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So it was, she wasn't having that, but I was cared.
So then you guys teamed up, right? You and
Justin
teamed up.
Yeah.
You became an owner.
Yeah.
And you started the process of owning the gym, right?
Yep.
What would you say were the biggest obstacles you faced as a new gym owner?
Besides COVID.
Oh.
That's a big one, bro.
Yeah,
So
besides
that's
COVID.
Everybody had to deal with that.
I mean, yeah, that's why I don't really. It was what it was, man. I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, I didn't have to take on personally the financial burden, so I don't take credit for what I did not. But in building a business through COVID, that was hard.
Yeah.
And just
bringing people back to the gym.
Bro, yeah, that was. I mean, luckily, because of how I operated before COVID, while I wasn't the owner, people knew how I. So once we reopened, we had a solid, core that came back. It wasn't touching the rent, but it grows. It's weird, man. It's like I can almost put it to moments. Like, okay, this happened, and then now we hit X. Okay, this happened. We went back, and the problem with knowing that is that everything's been random. I haven't been doing any marketing. I haven't been doing any of that. So it's just a bunch of different things that happen that may cause maybe people move out, maybe business comes in. So, now Justin and I have gotten to the point that I've seen enough that he's just stepped away. He's like, man,
He trusts you.
Yeah,
Trusts you
he's
to
like,
take over.
here's the keys, man. And
Damn.
so now it's, it's been for the last, we're in August, man. For the last, I would say 6 months, it's been really trying to grow. Yeah. Like coming out of COVID was great. The end of last year, just being open and everything, but really saying, okay, I got to sit down and tap back into why I'm here in the first place. Because, bro, it became home for me too.
Yeah.
So it became, I got an air mattress in the office. Like I had to take it out, put a massage table in there just so I could
that promotion, bro.
Yeah, man. It was. Yeah, it was tough. I was sleeping in the office. Like I'm telling you, bro, it was.
And these are things that people don't know about, the grind that you have to put in. They see that you have a gym, they see that you have all these customers, but these are things that,
and that's
if you're not talking about it, they wouldn't know.
No, and that's why the other day I posted on my story, I asked, how many of you think that gyms have a high likelihood? I don't think I said high likelihood. I said, how many of you think gyms have a good chance of making over $1 million a year? Again, I'm from this. Like I've been to gyms all over the country, and I know gym owners all over the country. So gym owners in debt, gym owners who make 60, 120, 150, not a mil. I know a few who make a mil. So 90% of people voted they think that gym owners make $1 million. I corrected that very quickly because I don't make anywhere close, and I'm not going to, as a gym owner, make over $1 million in a year just as a gym owner. Now, when we start talking about clothing, okay, even then, we're talking about $1 million. People don't really understand how many items you have to sell over the course of 365 days taxed.
You gotta sell $2,700 worth of items.
Now that you're a gym owner, you think? And I had this question. I always had this question. If do you know Bradley Martin, the YouTuber that owns the gym?
Super huge.
The guy
super
in,
huge. Yeah, beard, super huge.
Austin?
No, he's in LA. I think he's in LA.
I know who you're talking about.
He's always with celebrities. I always wondered if his gym made a lot of money because it's all celebrities there pretty much. But
he's talking about celebrities, bro. Like they ain't trying to pay you no money.
Yeah, for us. That's true.
Not even celebrities. They don't like the subscription.
Bro, they don't, bro. They are not people. Okay, I mean, they're not.
They say it's me. I'm bringing people.
Exactly, bro. They're like my likeness is gonna bring people, and I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case,
you gotta be here all day.
Well, then you gotta. I need you here. Telling people you here, and not just telling people, not posting this place because we're past the generation of someone with I'm not going to say 100,000 followers post that they're somewhere and people go there. That doesn't exist anymore because you could have got paid for that. Why would I go somewhere you got paid to post? That's another Google ad. I'm not dumb. So I think it's now more about people that people like. And if someone has a personality, I don't care if they got 2,000 followers. I don't care if they got 200. If they can actually stand somewhere with a table and people come talk to them, then okay, this person can benefit whatever they say they're going to benefit. But
and you know what's crazy? I feel like we're barely starting that age of the internet where people that are doing what they like to do, to the point of helping people that to the point where like I'm doing this because this is gonna benefit X person, Y person, Z person, and that's the sole reason to why I'm doing it. I see that those people are actually thriving way more than what the people are the people that already made it and they're posting, click this link, 15% off.
Pretty much like he said, it's not genuine anymore. It's a Google ad. So as a business owner, you probably see that you're like, man, it's genuine.
And Google ads are dropping off now. They literally said, okay, we can't even track who you are now. So like them Google ads, bro, no offense to them business owners, but they got to figure out what's going to be the next move in today's age because if you're not really, if you're relying on Google ads to run your business.
Right now, it's not the best bet.
Yeah.
Nah,
you got to switch it
especially
up.
bang for your buck. You got people out there who will run a legitimate marketing bot for you and cost you 1/5 of the cost, but you don't want to do it because it's different.
Yeah,
a marketing bot. I saw on Twitter like where you add a bot and then like it saves the video.
Yeah.
So like there's so much crazy stuff that's happening in like in today's world that we got to keep up. But we can't be that salesman where like, okay, I need you to click this video because I want to get a viewer.
Right.
I want you to click this video because I want to earn a subscriber.
Right.
Because a subscriber to me is, giving me purpose as to why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for you, not because I want to, show everybody that we have X amount of subscribers.
Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like that's the new
value.
age. That's the new age that if you can really have a good audience that sees your, the true in you, which is, helping them out. That's how you're gonna make it in today's world.
Exactly, and pretty much, just this will tie it in how he said with the gym. It could be all these people are coming to the table, but who's really bringing those customers in? Just like how us is with subscribers, for him is those people are being retained as customers.
Yeah. Oh, but it's all natural, 100% all natural.
Exactly.
And I've had people, who told me they were going to give me X. I do more for, I don't know, bro. I'm just a very giving individual.
And expect nothing in return.
Because there's no reason to. And when you start expecting things in return, your life gets tough. Because you're thinking, you laying in bed at night talking about why haven't they done something we never talked about doing in the first place. But whenever you start really giving without expecting anything in return, I truthfully do not think there's anyone out there that has trained with me that can say anything bad about me.
Mm.
And don't matter if I've charged them $200 a month, $1,500 a month. It's like you got exactly what you needed to get and more every single time.
Yeah.
Because, again, I've been through enough that I know. We ain't even talking about childhood. We're just talking about college. Like, I know that things get crazy. So when someone is training, I also know that this is also a mental battle.
Yeah.
Most people are not mentally where I'm at. And that's also, I'll give y'all a funny analogy with the gym. So I'm 27. I think our oldest trainer's 30, 31 maybe.
Okay.
Imagine a 16-year-old on a high school football team. He's on the team.
Yeah.
Being the head coach.
The head coach of
of the team.
Hold up.
That he's on. There's also offensive coordinators that are older than him. Their defense coordinators maybe younger.
So what you're telling me that the district is allowing this? Like,
No.
It's just
the district. The analogy. Just the analogy. Just the analogy.
It might not be a good team though.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Hell no. Nobody's gonna respect that.
Right, because so boom, to that point. All right, so now the position I'm in. I've been having to figure out how to be that 16-year-old on that football team.
And I hate that so much. At the end of the day, there's always going to be a discrimination. People, the main one that is in today's society is race or the amount of money that you make. But they don't talk about the age difference.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about the fact that, like, they see you and the fact that you have you're more successful than them at age, they're fucking 50 and they see you and they're like, you know what? I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to deal with you.
Yeah. That's real.
I know you got 100 things that you want to say and you're going to be fucking right. I'm still 50 and I ain't want to hear it.
I think everybody here in this room has experienced that. So that's why we're just like.
I think we're kind of, I mean, we're successful in our own areas to where like we have to deal with like older people trying to.
Bro, fuck them. Not gonna lie, bro. Like, straight up, fuck those fuckers.
It hit a nerve.
They said that too.
I think it's because I think I'm the youngest one and I've experienced it the most. But at the end of the day, like, homegirl.
Are you trying to tell us something, bro?
No, for real. Like, I'm just saying. Like, you know what's the crazy thing about that though is that I have a clear knowledge of that, and I'm just staying quiet. I'm just like, you're right. Let me not say a thing. You know what? I'm not even gonna like. Poke that.
Yo, when you talk about the workout though, it kind of reminds me of like what David Goggins. I mean, I don't know if you're a fan of him, but when you were talking about the workouts that you do and shit, it's like I wonder if you like train. Have you ever thought of training like the way he trains?
So I'll tell you this: there are gonna be a few time periods in my life where I have to go through something that is extreme, right? So. I like to think that my whole college experience, the transfers, that was one. Childhood, it was another. Post-college, I don't really think I've had one. But law school's probably going to be the first real one. This gym is actually the first one. This shit's hard. This shit's so hard. But then law school. And then after law school, I think I'll be at a place where... Because right now, if my nutrition was on point, I would 100% be training for a 100-mile race.
You read this book before?
Nah.
Bro, it's a
great book.
It's a great book.
I have it, but I haven't read the whole thing.
Damn.
Yeah. I usually, whenever I started reading it, is when I started working out and stuff. So I got it on, what's it called, Audible.
Oh, yeah.
So I just, instead of listening to music, I would listen to...
See, I listen to him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of pretty much my favorite, at least to like, I get that motivation, even though
he'll give you a motivation you need, honestly.
Yeah. Have you heard of Rich Rolling?
Rich Rolling? Nah, I haven't.
Rich Rolling. He's,
let us know.
He's more along the kind of psyche side of everything. Not so much Navy SEAL, but I believe he has one with David Goggins. Absolutely. Rich is he'll get you to reprogram in a different way. Mm-hmm. David will get you ready to run through a wall. Rich will get you to understand that if you think hard enough, you can walk through that wall. And I mean, it's just different philosophies, but with the same message. And he's another one I listen to a lot whenever I do these 9-mile runs. Yeah, so he's and he also interviews a lot of very in-depth, the same kind of David Goggins people, but even also more into the science side of this stuff.
Oh, that's dope.
So, yeah, he's got a super, super deep lineup of guests.
I mean, we're talking about psychology and we're talking about physical, the amount of work required to succeed. But let's talk about Simone then. You know what happened with Simone?
Yeah.
What do you think that happened? What do you think that had to do with?
I'm not really I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable with that. Like,
so essentially, she pulled out of one of the Olympic, if I'm right, events because the Olympic board did say that they were going to judge her more harshly because her level of competition was too high for the standards that have already been set.
Dang.
That's crazy to think about.
So you're so good that we have to judge you harder.
She has 2 moves that nobody could do other than her, and I think they're called like the Simones because she's the only one that could do them.
Yeah,
as well. I need to get into gymnastics.
So imagine you're getting 10 out of 10 already, and then there's this move that nobody else could do. There's only so much you could go, 10 out of 10, she's already hitting that.
But to hit that point, I think that was kind of crazy. And talking about athletes and mental health and what that does, it's not so much about her, but it's about every kid that aspires to be her that doesn't end up being her, but ends up being a great number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know how many people there are in America? Like, you know how many people there are in positions of leadership that aspire to be this Olympian or whatever it's going to be. And they don't become that. But what they do become is somebody who can instill these values in the people who are coming after.
Yeah.
So when I look at that, I'm looking at it, first of all, I don't care about the Olympics and Japan and none of this, but I'm looking at that more of
the impact that it had.
The impact that had on kids who look up to Simone, not because of Simone's decision. She's rightfully, I would have pulled out too. I'm glad she did. But I'm looking at that like the message that's being sent to kids, bro, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the message that kids are getting nowadays, it blows my mind. And shit gives me a headache because it's like, we really, whether we like it or not, every generation that comes after or before the next has an obligation to make the next one better.
Yeah.
And I don't care what experiences you go through, whatever you relay, whatever information you give that next generation needs to be for the purpose of them getting better. So like when I tell somebody something I went through, it's not because I fucking like this story. I'm not talking to you about
homeboy at 4 years old pushing that weight.
It's like, what is that? I'm not getting out of that. But what you can get out of that is understand that nothing, you don't have to stop for anyone's mindset on what you should be. Like, you don't have to fulfill anybody else's
I would say standards.
Standards, and there's another word, but standards is we'll go with that. Expectations. You don't have to fulfill anyone else's expectations because their expectations are likely built off of their failures.
Yep.
And them chasing things that they did not attain.
And I feel like we as a society still have yet to talk about failures in a way where, like you described it, you know, we got to analyze who the person is and how they're going to understand that failure is okay, but at the end of the day, it's not okay. And we need to understand better. We need to have a better understanding of how to be successful in your own persona, in your own mentality.
Right.
And no offense, but like coming from a Hispanic community, I don't think we have great understanding where we just get yelled at or we get thrown that chancla, you know, or like straight up, like that's it. And like no understanding whatsoever. Maybe it's the language barrier that we grew accustomed to now based off of, you know, being English speaking fluently first, or I mean, second, it becoming dominant. So there's just a lot of things that I say that because I'm an immigrant, right? But then let's talk about the person that has no parent. Or let's talk about the person that has parents and they're super supportive and they're overly supportive and they don't even get the chance to even realize who they are as a person. So like there's just so many things that we need to really have a good understanding of who we are.
Right.
But we don't get the chance.
Yeah. And even my family, I didn't have very many opportunities to grow within myself.
Yeah.
Like, I had 2 concussions before I left high school.
Damn. Before high school.
Before I left high school, bro. And it was like, you know, I mean, it is what it is, but it's also, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, it is a brain contusion that literally changes the way that your brain operates. So, you know, I mean, I think that we look past a lot of things with kids that end up making a bigger deal in the long run. And so, like, the situation with Simone, man, there's a lot of times where that stuff has happened and not been talked about because of the fact that it's a failure on the Olympics part.
And not on Simone's.
part.
Yeah.
And so, like, the failures that don't get talked about are the failures by big
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about the failures of the individual.
Do you think
all
it
day.
has to do more with like the politics of it? Because she's an American.
100%.
Yeah, man.
She's American.
Yeah.
Is that?
And here's the thing, though. I hate the fact that in the United States, a company is considered an individual, so they have the ability to accept as much money as they want to, just like how, and they can donate as much money as they want to through a super PAC, because quote unquote they're an individual. Oh, but they don't get the same type of like heat when they make failures.
Right.
They just brush it to the side, and they got the power to do it.
I mean, yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works.
That's how it
If
works.
you could get the lobby, then man, I
That's
mean,
the American way.
that's why I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should go into politics.
Oh, bro, that would be amazing.
We talked about this too in a separate conversation. It's like, what makes politicians become politicians? Like, do they grow into it, or do they eventually see the money, or like the amount of power you can get as a politician?
Think about this. All right, so think about the people who sell the most products, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And whether that be airtime, whether that be t-shirts, what do they do with their products? They don't sell it. They politic their products.
Yeah.
They're product
The best salesman.
politics. They are. And so when you think about it and then you sit back and you say, okay, what drove someone to get into politics? It's not necessarily the power or anything like that, but it's an easy association of all those things in one. The power, the money, the I don't give a damn what you say.
The ego.
It's
Bruh.
literally everything.
Yeah.
So whenever people think about politics in a positive fashion, I look at it like kind of House of Cards-ish. 2% of people in politics are in politics because they want to sit down and talk about politics.
Yeah.
98% of people are in politics because they have some association with power that they're looking to get at.
Yeah, and usually those 2% don't really even make it to the media and stuff like that. They're just in the background.
No, they're just in the back. They're just in the pictures. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. So
We see the conflict, the head-to-heads, the biggest,
that's that
loudest
nine-
mouth.
Yeah,
That's why, to be honest,
98.
me personally, that's why whenever it comes to politics or anything like that, I'm just like, you know what, it's whatever. Like, all those politicians are just going to do what pretty much benefits them. It's not going to be towards us.
Yeah,
There's that one small person that you always see, but they never end up making it either to
no, because
somebody
they
big.
know it ain't no reason to go up
Yeah.
and talk against
Yeah.
everybody else at that point.
Here's
Yep.
the thing, though.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of folks understand that there's so many people that look up to the United States, the Kim Kardashians. I honestly feel like most of the Kim Kardashians followers are foreigners, because the United States, they like to keep up with them, but like to an extent, they're starting to realize the bullshit that these celebrities are producing. And, they don't say, I want to look up to Kim Kardashian to become that next celebrity. Or I want to look up to like the Jersey Shore girls because I want to party out all night. Maybe they still do.
Shit.
But
Yep.
the point is
You
that
never
like
know.
I know, right? Point is that like I think we're gonna get to the point where like anybody that wants to do something in the United States will be able to accomplish that. And because there's a camera, because there's a phone, anybody at this point is gonna become an influencer.
Yeah,
And that's what I mean by like I hope that hopefully eventually people start to realize that they should tune into that influencer that helps them and benefits them, because that's what made them successful.
Right.
Instead of that corporate,
Yeah.
that politician that claimed, you're gonna get $2,000 for free. Our point is that like
Every 4 years is the same shit.
Yeah,
and we
like-
still fall for it.
same.
Like-
Everybody
like,
still
like you said,
fights,
the
everybody-
salesman, bro, they're such good salesmen. They tell you the same shit every 4 years. Like,
And you
damn,
buy
I
it.
think he might got a point. All right.
Bro, they
I'll
just
vote
put
for
on a
it.
different colored tie, bro, and
Yeah.
tell you the same thing.
Yeah, so maybe there'll be an influencer that runs a candidacy,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think
for
that's
the
what we're
party.
coming to. Somebody in the
Popularity
social media
contest.
that's gonna go with that. I mean, we already saw with Donald Trump,
look at
but
it. Well,
and then now The Rock trying to become a
Oh, yeah, The
president
Rock.
too.
too.
Was that for real?
I think that was for real.
We'll
I
see.
mean, what's his name also
Kanye
for
West.
Texas?
Oh yeah, the dude from
Matthew-
Matthew
Austin.
McConaughey,
Matthew.
Oh,
governor
yeah.
for Texas. I
Yeah.
was like,
At this point, it's going to become a popularity contest. At
Yeah.
this point, influencer contest.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting into politics.
Bro, fuck it. That's what we gotta do.
Might as well.
Someone gotta save
you
us.
got our support, bro.
Hey, I'm telling you, we growing the movement right now, man.
Yeah.
It's
You,
wild.
you gotta put
Grassroots.
gas up Collin.
Grassroots.
What does the sign say? Vote for? Or
Yeah, but
Yeah, we'll do like, I don't know, we'll maybe vote for gassed up or get gassed up, something like that.
Hey. Trademarked already, bros.
Sure.
Snap. That's crazy. Nah, but man, you mentioned something about working for ESPN though.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to understand what you meant by that.
Yeah, so I didn't work for them.
you've done a lot, bro. You've done a
Man.
lot out here.
I probably haven't even given half of it.
we'll probably be all night here, bro.
Nah, for real. So with ESPN, I was there. Had a live talk show for 7 weeks, and we pitched it as a show that we were going to talk about the life of an athlete, how it needs to change, things like that. They loved it. I was the only athlete. Everybody else was a partner, but they weren't in the athlete life during college. So they ended up buying it. So I ended up paying $570 out of pocket. Got help 1 or 2 weeks from one of the partners.
Okay.
But yeah, I was paying for, ESPN time out of pocket because I'm like, yeah, it's ESPN. So
Shit, yeah.
They're
You know-
paying how much out of pocket?
about $600 a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, it's ESPN, whatever. They're not really giving us anything. I mean, we had a producer. All he did was give us the raw clips. So I pulled out of that after that 7 weeks.
Producer, huh?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, producer. It was like, I mean, Rob, don't get me wrong. He's a good producer, but what they were giving us was not Rob like producer. They were just telling him, hey, okay, shoot him the
Throw it.
clips. Yeah, exactly. So I quickly pulled out of that just because I have people in the radio business. So I was like, yo, this is what's happening. Is this what's going on?
And they told you straight up that this is not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, they were like, nah, this ain't right. And they knew it wasn't right from the time that I told them they wouldn't give me the marketing demographics. So once they didn't give me that, and then I would go back, this stuff happens. They still trying to get me to pay, and I'm sitting here telling them, y'all need to get these other people to learn how to go out and do these sales then.
Yeah.
So a little back and forth, and then I decided I was done. So walked away from it. And that put a little halt on my podcasting, but then I just started talking shit on Instagram.
You have a podcast as well?
Yeah,
I've seen that you have a podcast.
Yeah.
Where do you put your podcast?
man. So I have it on Spot. Well, it's hosted on Anchor.
Anchor.
Yeah, and then distributed through like 9 different spots.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple, all of them.
Spotify.
That's what we
Apple,
use too,
Google,
Anchor.
SoundCloud. Yeah.
It's so easy. You just put it there and then
Yeah.
everything.
Everywhere.
Bro, I don't understand why anybody would use something else because it's
Yeah.
like you can get it to any platform that has podcast hosting without having to go through the
Automatic.
whole- Yeah,
Yeah, and it just comes
Exactly.
down to how you want to grow. So that's where you really
Yeah.
want to understand your demographic.
and then you
Go from
get
there.
into those apps that you need to get into to start messing like Spotify and the podcast and doing different things in there. Then you're doing Apple and yeah, it's a game to be played.
Yeah.
It's a game,
And
to be
it's so
played.
crazy that there's so many little things,
Yeah,
little tiny little things that you have to do, or else it's not even gonna be work.
nah,
It's crazy, man. Well, boys, how long have we been talking for? I think it's like an hour and 30 minutes, right?
Oh shit.
Straight up, like it was a great conversation. Like I don't
Nah, that's crazy because I definitely did not.
It felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah, nah,
it
for
felt like
real.
a lunch. And that's the cool thing. Like we love having people like you,
Word.
like straight up. I would say influencers or salesmen, but point is that at the end of the day, they're just people with
Yeah.
their own.
Sure, you do it all. You do it
Yeah.
all out here. Entrepreneur,
Everybody
owner.
does it all. We all wake
Exactly.
up and go do something, and then we
Exactly.
go out and we're someone with someone else, man. And that's the whole message behind Gassed Up.
Yeah,
That's
that's
facts.
you got to end it like that.
Gassed up or pass up. bro.
Gassed up or passed
Shit.
up, baby. That's what it is, man.
Damn, man. So it was a pleasure getting to know you, getting to sit down
Bros,
and,
man.
I
and
appreciate
speak
you all.
facts. in front
Where's the
of
gym
you.
located? How
Yeah.
could they contact you? What's
Man, so if you all want to get in touch with me, I need you to go on Instagram, and I'm going to tell you all who to DM. All right. It is...
Is this a membership acceptance type of deal where you have to get accepted or anybody gets accepted?
You go to bodydistrict.com, memberships, and you can purchase your membership. But if you need to get in touch with me, I was going to say something I shouldn't say. DM Gassed Up University.
Yes, of University.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you so much for allowing us to sit down and talk to you. It was a pleasure, it really was. And that mentality, keep it up, man.
I'm going to definitely have to come back.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, guys. Please. That way you guys can just gain some experiences that you didn't even live with. All right. Peace.
We out.
Love. Peace. Gassed Up. Let's go.